Today's the day, guys. Yep. 20th of July 2018. Big World Big Adventures is coming out in the cinema today. You know what? I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, not gonna lie anymore. It's been a long 9 months since the announcement was made that this was going to be the new format for the show. But the more I think about it, the more I realise that, firstly, that we can't change anything about this now. This is how it's going to be for the time being. So let's just sit back and hopefully enjoy the ride. And yeah, and I think all the ranting doesn't really help things at all. I mean, I know the video I made about it was probably my most popular video. I mean, I still get comments on it every single day, with people sharing their opinions, and actually, if it weren't for that, I probably would be sitting here today with 1,000 subscribers. So, yeah, I at least owe Big World Big Adventures that, and and keep my promise that I'd watch every film in the cinema now. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. The first one today is at 10 o'clock. I'm not gonna see that one because I slept in a bit this morning. I kind of saw it coming, but I booked tickets for the 12 o'clock one, and I got special VIP seats, so I'll be very comfortable sitting there watching it. Not gonna sit at the front like I did last year with Journey Beyond Sodor, because I think firstly I had a bit of a neck pain from looking up all the time. Secondly, just much too close to the hang on. So as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, yeah, I think when watching Journey Beyond Sodor, it made me a bit too close to the action, and therefore it seemed more mesmerizing, really. And the great thing about Journey Beyond Sodor, you'll know this if I did my immediate thoughts video review, saying how, I think it's probably the second best film, which is not better than The Adventure Begins, but just as better. But the thing is, like, after that, the more I thought about it, I thought, yeah, there are a lot of things to dislike about this film. So yeah, it takes a while for this to sink in. But either way, after the film, during the credits, I'm gonna make notes on my thoughts during the credits, of course. It'll be too dark to write during the actual film, but just write some thoughts, like make notes, write. And one thing I'd like to do is sum up all the new characters with one word, so like Nia and Ace and all that. And speaking of all of them, Nia, I think it's good to see her. I think it's important to have her make an important appearance in the film, because films do tend to have more of a reception than the episodes. So I think people will judge for themselves whether Nia is worthy of being in the Steam team, which we'll see. I'm really not sure. Ace looks interesting. I haven't watched the trailer. I know the song "Free and Easy" was released a while ago, and I haven't listened to that yet. But bit interesting that they cast Peter Andre as Ace. I mean, he's a great. He's a great actor. He's a great celebrity, very well known. My mum was pleased when I told her he was going to be in it. But I don't know. I think somebody who's a race car. I just think that's a great opportunity. Me as a racing fan, of course, I really want it for the Great Race for them to have actual racing people do the voices of the contenders in the Great Railway Show, and since they didn't, I was like gutted. I thought this would be a great opportunity to use a famous Australian racing driver do the voice, and yeah, instead we're getting an Australian actor, and and I don't even know if Peter Andre has any knowledge about racing or even traveling the world. Well, maybe he does, like as a big celebrity on ITV2. But yeah, but one thing I thought about when I noticed Ace was he has number 43 on him, and he's Australian. So I thought, is this a reference to Darcy Ward? And in case you don't know, in 2015, yeah, 2015, um, Darcy Ward, a motorcycle racer, a speedway, had an accident where he hit his neck on the back of the barrier, and for a while he was paralysed from the neck down, and he's got feeling back in his arms now, but it has a very high chance that he'll never walk again. And it was a real sad moment because he was a great rider, and very young as well, so had a very bright future. So I think I thought this would have been a very good mark of respect for Darcy Ward, but instead it's just really a coincidence that he's number 43. And also 43, when you think about that number and race card, you think Richard Petty, the King, and so that's very much come to nothing either. So yeah, you can. It's a weird coincidence, really, about Ace's number, really, and it gives you a bit of false hope, really, and so yeah. But anyway, Peter Andre as Ace seems interesting. A lot of other new characters as well haven't been revealed too much about. What are their names? Tony and Natalie, I believe they're called. Two names I quite like, so yeah, good to see them in, and several others, of course. For the actual story, I really don't know where it's going to go. Again, I haven't watched the trailer as of yet, so I really don't know what it's where the story's going to go. Obviously, we're going to get a thing with Thomas. Oh, I want to see the world. Oh, the world is so great. I bet it's so much better than this. This old island. Yeah, I've lived here all my life. It's so boring. I've got hundreds of friends, but no, never mind them. I'm going to see the world, and I kind of, I know it's wrong to say to hope this, but I kind of hope that Thomas gets the realization that the world is other places of the world are different to Sodor, and that he realizes there is no place like home. So yeah, don't know. We'll find out. And if indeed but if it's the opposite way and he decides, oh yeah, I love traveling the world, I want to do more of it, I just hope he has his friends go with him, and involve them, let them discover new things, and yeah, finally Thomas is going to see the world, but are we bothered about that? I think it'd be more interesting to see everyone else, like Henry and Gordon traveling, I don't know, Europe. I don't know, just different scenarios with different edges, go to different countries and learning new things, and it would suit their character as well. That's the important thing, really, for it to match their character. Yeah, for Thomas to suddenly learn that the world is a very different place. I think it would just be good to see, and I think realistic, because but anyway, no, never mind that. Obviously I've got my bow tie on now, of course, for making a video. I hope maybe a few people might, you never know, notice me and ask me questions about the bow tie, and I'd love to tell them all about that. So yeah, but anyway, this should be a very fun experience. What else is there to say? No, I can't think of anything else. Season 22. It's obviously going to be a follow-up from Big World Big Adventures. We'll learn more about Nia and of course Rebecca eventually, and hopefully the new characters from this series aren't just in this movie are just one-offs, and we see more of them as well, and they get their episodes and they get their character and personality, really. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Hoping it's a very decent film. It's not going to be the best. We already know that, because The Adventure Begins impacted younger audiences who didn't know these original stories, but who probably didn't know these original stories, and then the older fans who didn't expect the modern owners of the show to acknowledge the fact that Thomas and Friends had an original format, and they're remembering that still existed. So yeah, it was great to see. So and of course, now that I've seen this, I can do it in my every Thomas and Fred special reviewed in 10 words or less, and now that one can be part of that. And I got the DVD for Christmas, but I still haven't got round to watching Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. I don't believe it. And yeah, gotta get around to doing that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be all for now. I'm probably gonna be should probably be. I think I'm gonna do filming of where I have my journey there. So probably next time you'll see me, it's probably after the film, and I'll probably be sharing my thoughts with you guys. Anyway, let's see you there then.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, guys. I like that film. Yep, I'm just gonna say it. Big Old Big Adventures. I really liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. That's all I'm gonna say. Yep. Just got back from the cinema. Went to a pub straight afterwards to write my notes down. So just gonna take a look here. Start off with a few weeks back, I'd had my ear syringed, so I was a bit concerned about how loud everything was going to be. And yeah, there were definitely a few moments where my ears hurt a little bit by the noise and music, but that's not their problem. That's mine, really. Like last year with Journey Beyond Sodor, I was the first one there, and for a long while I was the only one in the cinema, and I was very surprised that I was the only one there, because I really wanted to get a chat with some younger Thomas fans, maybe tell them a bit about myself and what they think of the show or the big change, really, because yeah, it's good to talk about this sort of thing. But anyway, in the end, a mother and her two young children arrived in the middle of the trailers, and because it was dark, they couldn't find their actual seat, so we just sat on the front row and never really did get a chance to speak to them, of course, because I was further towards the back. But so yep, that was, but it was still alright. It felt odd just being me and one other group, but yeah, I think it was worth maybe a few people coming in on this day to watch it. I think maybe it's because it's the lot people still have school on today, but maybe there'll probably be more people coming tomorrow, because there are a few times there, and Sunday as well. I think there's one on Sunday where I am, not sure, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, just me and one other group there, really. The opening, to my surprise, was just straight into the action. Like, straight away, Thomas is trying to push some heavy trucks, but the only reason he can't push them is because of the brakes, which is a bit odd. And straight away, a few seconds in, Thomas is already talking about travelling the world. So it surprised me about how quickly everything was developing. And how quickly he decided he wanted to see the world, and the story about Thomas Gordon saying like, "Oh, this is your world, Thomas." I think that yeah, it was good to hear that, but that really didn't add anything in the end, because at no point in the film does Thomas, like I hoped it would, he decide that Sodor is maybe the place he actually belongs in, but. That's the thing, but the thing is, it's because he knew he was going to get back to Sodor anyway. He was just crossing the world to be the first engine to do that, and so I think I'd give that a pass for just for that. And then, so what's next? Bouncing, yes, that was pretty consistent in this film, unfortunately, yeah. But I think, yeah, it wasn't as much of a distraction as perhaps Journey Beyond Sodor was. Like, you could see it there. It was quite obvious. It looked odd at some points, but I think I could just give it a pass on this one. It didn't ruin the whole film. It was like the first thing when people talk about Journey Beyond Sodor, they say how much bouncing was, how much of a distraction it was. So yeah, but no, not so much the case in this film. So that's better. Jam Filled. This is their first film. Where it's purely just them animating the film, and they did brilliantly in this one. The animation of the different countries looked brilliant, and the animals look good, the humans look good. I know they are responsible for animating all the bouncing and stuff, but that's yeah, they were brilliant in this film, and I'm glad that the graphics look fantastic in this one, and for their first time they really did outdo themselves. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a full season of seeing them film all these interesting things. Really, yeah. Can't really think of any words right now. I'm a been a bit of a long walk home. Yeah. On songs, yeah, as I hoped, the songs were very good. I think my two favourites have to be Wake Up, which is by Nia and the African Trucks. I like that one, and I'm Sorry for Thomas, because that is a pretty important moment in the film, but I'm going to get onto that later. Let's see, because I've got 2 pages of this. The first song about Looking for Thomas was not we'd seen it before in The Great Discovery, but I think it was a little bit better and a little bit funnier as well. So yeah, that was pretty good first song for the film. The last song was nice as well. The others okay as well. I'd say, yeah, not one bad song I could think of there, but then I said the same thing about Jeremy on Zero last year, and Who Thomas was a bit off in terms of the song. I think one negative I'm going to think of first, right off, because it annoyed me right off the bat, was Thomas's character in this one. I just don't like how he decides, obviously he only has a few minutes to decide whether he'll go with Ace to travel the world, and he leaves without saying anything about anyone at all. But then the more I think about that, I think it's because we knew he was going to get back to Silver anyway. He was that confident that he didn't really need, I don't really need to say goodbye to all my friends. They'll know I'll get back and I'll see them there. This will be quite easy. He's wrong to do that, but I can forgive him for not saying his friends. He only had a matter of time before he could make his decision to get on that ship. And the inclusion of Carly being the one that lifts him onto the ship rather than Cranky is quite interesting. So she got lines in this film, but not Cranky. That was a bit interesting. Ace's introduction is very cool as well. That's probably the one bit I liked about Ace in this film. Just gonna say that, really. Yeah, like when you see the thing clearing mode, of course, Wilbur's already on his bike, like on a quiet road, but then all of a sudden Ace comes in, and it's very, very much like how the current era of the show completely overshadows the classic era, and I think that's a pretty interesting scene, really. Yeah, but Ace's introduction is very cool, and I'm glad they had the actual opening credits during that scene. Narrator. There was no narrator in this film, I can confirm, and to be honest, at first I didn't notice it, really. It was just, eventually I realised there's no narrator. No Mark Morahan, but the film really did work without a narrator, and to my surprise, it really did work, and I think, and I'm also glad that they didn't have the edges talking to the camera and asking the viewers to talk to them and help them make their decisions. But yeah, I'm glad that was there, because it would have wasted a lot of time. Because 80 minutes, it felt like watching that first very fast-paced opening. I thought, how is this 80 minutes long? This opening is so fast, but really 80 minutes was just right. I don't think it was too long at any point. There are so many moments that are pretty important, some that aren't so much, but 80 minutes is definitely the right length. It could have even been longer if the opening had just been slowed down a tiny bit. It could have even been half an hour and a half. So yeah, I'm fine with it being 80 minutes. I think it worked very much as that. Let's see what else. Yeah, what I was saying about Thomas's character, wasn't I? Yes, I don't like how, Ace. I'm gonna say, Nia is better than Ace in this film. That's very clear from the start, really. And I just don't like how Thomas chooses Ace over Nia, simply because Ace is cooler and more fun, perhaps. But Nia, I'm just gonna say now, I like Nia. She's smarter. She's got a lot more common sense. She's wise. In fairness, she does talk a bit too much. They literally do reference that. How Thomas says, "Why are you so nice to everyone?" But I'll go on to that a bit later. But yeah, I like Nia, and I think she was a good addition to the film, and it was a good introduction to her, and I think she works as a good main character, and I would like to see more of her. And that was the main point of this film, I'm sure, because there were a lot of characters in this film that
we didn't see a lot of, but I think by seeing less of them, making us want to see more, that makes us more keen to watch season 22 and hopefully see more of these characters. So yeah, that is they were very good to do that in that sense. The new characters could have added more. I mean, like a lot of them didn't even get named. Like the four other race cars that Ace was against, we only learned the name of two of them, which was Tony and Angelique. But the other two, we never even learned the names of. But again, they didn't really add much. The characters Thomas met in the different countries they didn't add much either. They gave him information. They helped him get to their location, but yeah, it could maybe have done more. But remember, they only had 8 minutes of running time, so I guess it's understandable, really. I think Kwaku, Nia's friend, was a bit like he was heavily what's the word? But well, a lot of people talked about him when he was revealed, and I think there was a lot of hype for him as well. And really, he didn't do much. He told Nia and Thomas about where Ace was. So, but apart from that, there was very little to do. And really, I don't really know if I had much urge to see him again after that. So yeah, Kwaku, he's an okay character. Don't really know if I want to see too much more of him. What's there? The scene with the Fat Controller traveling, getting up to all sorts of shenanigans, looking for Thomas. They were very good, and I dare I say I looked forward to them more than perhaps the scenes with Thomas, Nia, and Ace, really, because the Fat Controller scenes were funny, interesting, and I'm glad that they left it on the cliffhanger that they did. That the Fat Controller is still looking for Thomas, and it ends when he runs into Ace, and that's interesting. And I hope they manage to finish that thing right off the bat in season 22, but we'll have to see. Quite a lot of dramatic scenes as well, like when you got like the normal thing you'll see in the cinema where like it says about what certificate is, it says you, and it contains mild threat. And like I was surprised by that, but the bridge scene where in Brazil, where the bridge just gives way while crossing the water, it is quite dramatic. And the scene where Thomas rescues Nia in the mountains in China, very dramatic. And I think it made me nervous, and I can't imagine what it would be like for people half my age who watched the film. So yeah, very on edge of your seat stuff, I'd say. So keep an eye out for that. If you're watching this, so don't I probably should have said this at first, but yeah, this video does have spoilers, obviously. So yeah, watch the actual film before you watch this. And sorry if you've got this far, you probably know too much already. I'm a terrible YouTuber. Let's see what else is there. Because I wrote all these notes down in the wrong order. Yeah, back to Thomas's character in this film. At first, I felt very annoyed with him for leaving his friends without saying goodbye to them, or even thinking about them that much. But again, I gave my reasons why I forgive him for that. I don't like how he likes Ace more than Nia, just for the reasons that he's cooler, that he encouraged Thomas to travel the world with him. And I was so annoyed when we knew that Thomas straight away decided that he didn't like Nia, just because she has more common sense. And I was just, we've seen this before. We've seen this with Ashima. It's Ashima all over again. So I'm a bit very annoyed by that. And then, when he does the song "I'm Sorry," he's almost apologizing, not just to Nia but to us as well for being rather cruel to Nia, and also maybe to his friends as well, and kind of in a way the viewers as well. So yeah, a very clever song in that sense. But Nia, she arrived. She was good for the story. I think this was a good introduction to her. She's yeah, again, I think she does talk a bit too much, and but I love the line where Thomas says, "Travel the world, but that was my idea." And then and like at this point, I wanted to say, "Shut up, Thomas." And then but then when Nia comes back with, "You're not the only one who can have ideas, Thomas." Like, yes, yes, and some people immediately liked Nia just for that line, and so people like that are a bit dumb, but yeah. I could see why a few people would decide that they liked her just because of that line, but nonetheless, it's quite an ace. Peter Andre did okay. He was a good singer, free and easy. I like that song as well. Yeah, but in the end, I think it's quite. I dare I say I was quite pleased that Thomas decides to look for Nia and leave Ace, and I don't like how they played the sad music for when they part ways because. Pardon me a minute. So as I was saying, my mum came into the room. That's okay, no problem there. The sad music for when Thomas and Ace part ways. I'm kind of quite pleased for it because at this point Ace has just been encouraging Thomas to do some really, really bad and not very nice things, such as leaving Nia to deliver the trucks on her own. Like they go take a different route, which is more dangerous. So Ace, I like Nia more than Ace in this film. That's a definite. And then we go, and then the other negative I have is the scene where Thomas and Ace take that different route, because in that scene they have the thing that we've had for 3 different films, and it just annoyed me so much, was the scene where they're going down this dangerous track, they come off the rails, and then as you probably saw in the trailer, there's a bit where they end up upside down, going underneath a little mountain hill thing. Don't really know, but and then they land back on the tracks. Like, oh, it's like the bridge jump in The Great Race. The bit with the chase, the final battle with the steelworks in Journey Beyond, and like, oh, it was just so irritating to see that. And fortunately, it's over with really quickly, and then we get introduced to Bo, who I really liked as well. That's this nice old wise American chap with a really southern accent. He's what I definitely want to see again in season 22. And then Yong Bao. Yeah, I think definitely in the top. I've got 3 favorite new characters from this film, and neither of them are Nia and Ace actually. Funny to think, isn't it? But it was nice to see Yong Bao recognize Thomas rather than Thomas recognize Yong Bao, because I imagine if Thomas recognized Yong Bao, it would be like, oh, hello, I recognize you. Hello, I'm Thomas. I was in the Great Railway Show, and I remember seeing you once. But no, it's Yong Bao who says it better. He delivers it, saying he recognizes Thomas, and that's nice to see, and how it turns out to be him that rescues Thomas. So yeah, Yong Bao, a good addition to the film, and again, hope to see more of him in season 22. So my 3 favorite characters from the film were Yong Bao, number 3. Number 2 were the African trucks, because they were like my favorite song, "Wake Up," which was played by the Trucks and Nia. Like, I like them because they were really they were useful, they were funny, they were good singers. They had my favorite joke in the film where they just start where like Thomas and Nia are having their conversation, but they're on the other side of the train, and the trucks just are like passing the message on to each other. It's just they repeat that joke a lot, but it still brought a smile to my face. And my favorite new character has to be Bo, because of how because southern part of America, old white mustache, I might add, just very wise, like, very funny funny character. I hope to see him again. Have I said anything I want to? I'm not sure. So for Nia and Ace, Nia I really like. I don't mind seeing too much of her. If she's definitely not as good as Edward. She's smart like Edward. She's a bit wise like Edward. She's maybe a bit more of a talker than Edward, which is kind of a downer. But I don't mind seeing more of her in season 22 than perhaps we probably won't see as much of Edward, but Nia, yeah, fine with seeing more of her, and it's good that and I like how Thomas decides to let her stay on Sodor, and it's sad to find out that she lost her home in Africa, which is a bit a sad moment. But then but then you forgive Thomas for him being rather cruel in the first few acts, and then you forgive him just by letting her stay on Sodor. Mr. Percival as well, good to see him taking over from the Fat Controller for a change. He had a few lines, which was interesting. He already had a couple of lines in Blue Mountain Mystery, and that's hard to think about, isn't it? Yeah. What else is there? Yeah, that's all I got written down. So yeah. Big World, Big Adventures. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. If season 22 is just gonna be a lot of what we see in this film in just like 20 or so episodes, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I dare I say I'm more looking forward to season 22 by watching the film than not watching the film. So yeah, definitely not what I expected. Yeah, a big surprise that Big World, definitely not as bad as I thought it was. Big World, Big Adventures, and yeah, its animation was great, songs were great, new characters were good. the main two were average. The other characters were great. Thomas, definitely, I know he was a bit cruel and selfish, but he did still match his character in this. For him to decide to go with the cooler character than the smarter character, it kind of matches his character really. So yeah, it's it really did work for this film. 80 minutes, perfect length. Only two negatives I can think of: Thomas's character and the chase scene with the stunts and stuff like that. Yeah, those are the only two negatives. Everything else good. The story rather simple in the end, which like he just travels the world and then does everything else there just added on from there. But yeah, that was fine. Having the simple story did help. It somehow allowed more to happen. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Big World, Big Adventures. Better than Misty Island Rescue, definitely. Better than Day of the Diesels. Yeah, I would say better than Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Yeah, it's a 6 or a 7 out of 10, I'd say. Yeah, there are a lot of films I have that are 7 out of 10, including Cool Wheel Engines, The Great Discovery, what else? Here Are the Rails. It pains me to say it, but I'd say those Big World, Big Adventures is as good. It's almost as good as those films, which I didn't think I'd be saying 9 months ago. So yeah, Big World, Big Adventures, it's a big surprise, and not as bad as I thought, and I think I'm not as worried for Thomas's future as I was 9 months ago. Yeah, so yeah, great film. I'm happy, smile on my face, 2 thumbs up. That's the main thing. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave that to you guys now. What did you think of the film if you've watched it already? Let me know in the comments, including a rating out of 10 if you wish. What was your favourite character as well? What was your favourite or least favourite moment from the film? And let me know in the comments. Yeah, I'm smiling because of how much I liked about the film. There are a lot of things I liked more than I didn't like. So yeah. Anyway, let me know down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, cheerio.